Parshas Korach talks about machlokes, disagreement, strife, unfortunately, which led to the demise of Korach and all of his followers. Lessons to be learned for us about having machlokes, about having disagreements, and how we can have a disagreement constructively, and how we can sometimes have a disagreement which is only destructive in nature. How one compromises, how one makes up, how one forges a relationship instead of having a relationship fall apart. So Moshe is challenged by Korach, and Moshe's response is that he's in shock. God's response is he is going to take these people and he's going to show them that they can't challenge Moshe. Even then, Moshe tries to engage Korach. Hashem says he's going to destroy Korach and his Ada and his group. Moshe, still, even after the command of Hashem to go and tell Korach what's going to happen to him, it seems that Moshe is trying to engage Dasan and Aviram. He goes with the Ziknei Yisrael, with the elders of the Jewish people. He approaches the tent of Dasan and Aviram. And the Torah describes Dasan and Aviram's response to Moshe's approaching them. It says, V'dasan and Aviram yatzu nitzavim. What does it mean, yatzu nitzavim? They came out of their tent. Pesach Oleam, the front of their tent, and they came out with their entire families. Rashi gives us some insight as to how they appeared. Rashi says, Yatzu nitzavim, they stood up, Bikoma zikufa. Their back was up straight, their shoulders were held up high in defiance. Now, perhaps that's the first clue for us. There are some times when we're in disagreement with someone, we're in an argument with someone, and they sincerely want to find a way to settle the disagreement or the argument, and they approach us and they say, let's sit down and have a cup of coffee. And already we've made up our mind that we don't even want to listen to them, and even though we say, okay, I'll have a cup of coffee, but we start off the presentation by approaching them not with a smile, with a sense of let's talk and really try to solve this, but rather with our arms folded or with our shoulders up high, as if to say, you're not going to make any progress with me, you better be the one to compromise. Moshe tried to understand what Korach and his followers had really wanted, what was really bothering them, but he wasn't given the opportunity because they wouldn't have a cup of coffee with him. They wouldn't honestly discuss the details of what their argument was about. All they wanted to do was battle, was fight, was cause strife and cause disharmony amongst the Jewish people. And so we ask ourselves the question, when we tend to have a disagreement with someone, it happens, it's part of life, how do we approach that disagreement or that argument? Do we do so with proper midos, proper character traits? Do we do so in trying to disagree or agree to disagree, but be able to be friendly, be able to sit and have a conversation? Or do we do so by putting our shoulders up, by folding our arms, and by being defiant and telling them it will be my way or the highway? Let us learn the lesson of Korach, and even if there are some people that we disagree with, yes, there are some times that we just need to stay totally away from those we disagree with, but there are other times where we have friends or people that we have relationships with where we simply need to restore that relationship. Let's take the approach and not be defiant. Let's sit down and talk, learn from the lesson of Moshe Rabbeinu, engage, and hopefully come to a compromise, come to an agreement, come to a sense of shalom. Unfortunately, Moshe was not able to come to that with Korach, but hopefully in our lives and our relationships, we will be able to do so. Thank you for listening and have a good Shabbos.